You've always believed fruit is good for you, and most of the time it is. But if you're over 65, some fruits could be quietly draining the strength from your legs every single day. It sounds shocking, even unfair. How could something so natural and healthy be working against you? Here's the truth. Muscle loss or sarcopenia is a hidden threat that affects millions of older adults. It's the number one reason people lose their independence, suffer dangerous falls, and tragically never fully recover. According to the CDC, over 1 in 3 seniors will fall this year, and weak leg muscles are the leading cause. So, if your legs feel unsteady or you've noticed a little more effort getting up from the couch, don't ignore it. In this video, we're revealing 8 common fruits that may be making it worse, and most importantly, what to eat instead to stay strong, steady, and independent. This advice comes straight from older adults who've been through it and wish someone had told them sooner. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss simple, science-backed tips to age smarter, live longer, and feel stronger. 1. Grapes, sweet but silent, muscle saboteur. Grapes have long held a place on the healthy list. They're sweet, convenient, and often praised for their antioxidants. But if you're over 65, it's time to take a closer look at what those tiny fruits might be doing to your body, especially your legs. The truth is, grapes are loaded with fructose and low in fiber. That combination can spike your blood sugar fuel, chronic inflammation, and quietly reduce circulation to your lower limbs, all of which play a role in weakening your leg muscles over time. To put it in perspective, the glycemic index, a measure of how fast a food raises blood sugar of grapes, is around 59, while berries like strawberries or blueberries sit much lower, around 25. This matters more than most people realize. High glycemic foods can cause repeated sugar spikes throughout the day, which over time dull the body's sensitivity to insulin, increase inflammation, and hinder nutrient delivery to muscle tissues. That means less nourishment getting to the muscles that keep you standing, walking, and independent. Take the case of Harold, a 70-year-old retired firefighter from Ohio. For years, he'd start his day with a handful of grapes or a glass of grape juice, thinking he was doing something good for his heart. But gradually, he began experiencing nightly leg cramps and more difficulty getting up from his recliner. His doctor found no major issues, but a nutritionist suggested one simple change. Swap the grapes for a daily serving of frozen blueberries or strawberries. Within weeks, Harold noticed his cramps had eased. His legs felt steadier, and even his energy picked up. He didn't need to cut fruit, just choose better ones. One of the biggest mistakes older adults make is assuming all fruit is equally beneficial. Grape juice, often marketed as heart-healthy, can contain as much sugar as a can of soda. And unlike whole fruit, it lacks the fiber needed to slow sugar absorption. When sugar hits fast and hard, the body responds with stress. And over time, that can wear down the very muscles you rely on to stay mobile and safe. The good news is there's a simple fix. Frozen strawberries, for example, are affordable, easy to keep. On hand, rich in antioxidants, low in sugar, and actually support blood vessel health. Small swaps like this can make a big difference. Your legs carry you through life. They deserve better fuel, and sometimes better starts with knowing the truth behind a fruit you've trusted for years. 2. Bananas. The potassium paradox. Bananas have earned their reputation as the ultimate muscle-friendly fruit. For decades, they've been praised for their potassium content. And it's true, potassium plays a key role in preventing muscle cramps and supporting healthy muscle function. But here's what most people don't realize. That benefit depends on one critical factor: how well your kidneys are working. As we age, especially past 70, kidney function naturally declines. It may not be noticeable at first, but even subtle changes can affect how your body handles potassium. What once was a helpful mineral can start to accumulate, leading to a condition called hyperkalemia. Too much potassium in the blood. Hyperkalemia isn't just a lab result on a piece of paper. It can show up in very real ways: muscle weakness, fatigue, after eating a strange heaviness in your legs, or even mild nausea. In more serious cases, it can trigger dangerous heart rhythm issues. And here's where it gets tricky. Many older adults chalk up these symptoms to just getting older, never suspecting the banana they eat every morning might be part of the problem. Take Marlene, for example, a vibrant 74-year-old who loved her morning routine. One banana, a slice of toast, and a quick walk around the block. But over the past year, she noticed her legs feeling heavier, and she'd sometimes need to sit down halfway through her walk. At first, she thought she was just slowing down with age, but a checkup revealed early signs of reduced kidney function. Her nutritionist explained that while bananas are fine for many, they're not always ideal when kidneys can't filter potassium as efficiently. With that in mind, Marlene made a small switch. She started her mornings with a tart green apple crisp, refreshing and full of anti-inflammatory flavonoids, paired with a small bowl of low-fat Greek yogurt. The yogurt still provided potassium, but balanced it with protein and gut-friendly probiotics. Within weeks, the heaviness lifted. She felt more energized and even started walking longer again. It's a subtle shift in understanding from what's good in general to what's good for me at this age with my body. That's where real health lives. Bananas aren't bad, but they're not a one-size-fits-all solution, especially for older adults. As we age, we need to tune into how our bodies respond. Question old habits and make adjustments that match where we are now. Sometimes, what helped you once might quietly be holding you back, and listening to that change can make all the difference. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting, "Yes," below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 3 oranges. When vitamin C turns against you, oranges have long been a breakfast staple, especially among older adults who reach for them believing they're boosting their immune system with a healthy dose of vitamin C. But what if that morning glass of orange juice, especially on an empty stomach, is quietly working against you? While it's true that oranges contain vitamin C, they're also high in citric acid, and that acidity can wear down more than just tooth enamel. For many seniors, it contributes to calcium loss, joint pain, and inflammation in the muscles, especially when consumed regularly without balance. There's a common habit among older generations drinking a glass of orange juice first thing in the morning. It's simple, familiar, and comforting. But this habit can trigger acid reflux, especially as digestion naturally slows with age. That burning feeling in the chest or unsettled stomach might seem minor at first, but over time, chronic acid reflux can interfere with the absorption of essential nutrients, the very ones your muscles and bones need to stay strong. What many people don't know is that the vitamin C in oranges isn't unique. There are gentler, smarter alternatives that offer even more benefits with far less risk. Take papaya, for example. Not only is it lower in acid, but it also contains nearly 150% of your daily vitamin C needs in just 1 cup. It's easier to digest thanks to its natural enzymes, like papain, which help break down proteins and support gut health, a critical factor for nutrient absorption in older adults. Similarly, cantaloupe offers hydration, mild sweetness, and vitamins with a much lower acid profile. These fruits don't just sit better in the stomach, they work with the body, not against it. Research from the National Institute on Aging highlights that chronic low-grade inflammation is a major driver of muscle decline and joint discomfort in older adults. Acidic diets can contribute to this kind of inflammation. It's not that oranges are inherently bad, they can still be enjoyed occasionally. But for seniors dealing with stiffness, aching joints, or digestive issues, reaching for low-acid fruits can offer real relief. choosing foods that nourish without irritation is one of the smartest ways to age well. Your body changes, and your habits should too. If you've been struggling with fatigue, soreness, or indigestion, and never considered your daily orange might be playing a role, this is your moment to rethink. Have you noticed any changes in how your body reacts to citrus or acid-heavy foods lately? Share your experience. Your story might help someone else. 4. Watermelon. Hydrating yet energy draining. Watermelon feels like the perfect fruit on a hot afternoon, cool, refreshing, and packed with water. It's easy to chew, easy to digest, and has long been a summer favourite, especially for older adults who struggle with appetite or dehydration. But what many people don't realise is that watermelon, while hydrating, can come with an unexpected cost. It may drain your energy rather than restore it. This is especially true if you're over 65, when blood sugar regulation and energy balance become more fragile. Watermelon is very low in fibre and has a high glycemic index, meaning it's rapidly digested and quickly spikes blood sugar. That might sound harmless, but the effect doesn't stop there. What often follows is a sharp drop in blood glucose, leading to symptoms many older adults know too well. Dizziness, shakiness, fatigue, even a slight trembling in the legs. You might not think twice about that afternoon slump, but sometimes it's directly linked to what you just ate. In fact, a single glass of watermelon juice contains the sugar equivalent of 6 teaspoons, nearly the same as a can of light soda, without any fibre or protein to slow its impact. For seniors whose insulin response is often slower and less efficient, that kind of sugar hit can be too much all at once. One common pattern is feeling refreshed while eating watermelon, only to feel drained or laded not long after, especially if it's eaten alone in the late afternoon when natural energy dips already occur. This sudden blood sugar swing can quietly increase the risk of falls or instability in older adults. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that unbalanced high GI foods can impair postural control and increase fall risk among the elderly, particularly when consumed without complementary nutrients like protein or healthy fats. But there are simple ways to keep enjoying cooling foods without the crash. If you love watermelon and don't want to give it up entirely, pairing it with a small source of protein such as low-fat cheese can help blunt the sugar spike and keep your energy steady. Better yet, consider switching to something that offers hydration and electrolytes like fresh cucumber slices with a pinch of mineral, rich sea salt. It's light, cooling, supports fluid, balance, and won't send your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. As we age, the foods we once reached for, without thinking, deserve a second look. It's not about giving up what we love, but about learning how our bodies respond now and making smarter choices that protect our strength, balance, and energy. Have you ever noticed feeling more tired or unsteady after eating sweet fruits like watermelon? If so, your experience might be more common than you think. Feel free to share 5 pineapple, the enzyme that steals your strength. What if the tropical fruit you've always loved? Juicy, bright, and full of flavour is quietly working against your strength. Pineapple often gets praised for its digestive enzyme, bromelain. And while that enzyme has certain benefits, frequent consumption can carry unexpected downsides, especially for older adults. As you age, your body becomes more sensitive to imbalances, and what once helped digestion may now interfere with something far more critical. Calcium absorption. Bromelain found in high concentrations in fresh pineapple can inhibit calcium uptake when consumed regularly. That matters more than people think. Calcium is essential, not just for bones, but for muscle contractions, nerve signaling, and even the quality of your sleep. When calcium levels are disrupted, you may begin to notice subtle signs: aching calves after mild activity, a heavier feeling in the legs at night, or difficulty falling asleep, especially after eating acidic or tropical fruits. These symptoms are easy to brush off as part of aging, but often they're clues your body is struggling to balance nutrients. In addition to bromelain, pineapple is both acidic and high in natural sugars. This double punch can contribute to increased inflammation in joints and soft tissues. For someone already managing osteoarthritis or knee pain, that daily pineapple snack might actually be making symptoms worse. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition links high fructose and acidic diets with elevated markers of systemic inflammation, a key contributor to joint degeneration and muscle fatigue in older adults. Inflammation isn't always felt immediately, but over time it quietly chips away at your strength, making it harder to recover after activity and increasing the risk of muscle loss. One woman, Martha, aged 72, had developed a habit of enjoying pineapple slices after dinner. She loved the brightness it brought to her meals, but started noticing she was waking up with restless legs and feeling drained in the mornings. It wasn't until a visit to her dietitian that the connection was made. She was encouraged to switch to ripe papaya, which also offers tropical flavour, vitamin C and digestion-friendly enzymes, but without the calcium-blocking side effects or the excess acidity. Another favourite alternative was green mango with a touch of pink Himalayan salt. Tangy, satisfying, and far lower in sugar than the right version. The solution isn't to fear fruit, but to understand how different types interact with an aging body. Tropical fruits can still be enjoyed, but it's wise to choose ones that support your balanced strength and comfort. By paying attention to how your body feels, especially after acidic, sugary fruits, you give yourself the power to make changes that protect your mobility and well-being for years to come. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting yes below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 6 cherries. Not so innocent, after all. Have you ever reached for a bowl of cherries thinking you were making a smart, heart-healthy choice? Their deep red colour, natural sweetness, and reputation for reducing inflammation make them seem like the perfect fruit, especially for older adults. But there's a hidden side to cherries that few people talk about, one that can quietly undermine your muscle strength and digestion, particularly if you're over 65. Cherries contain a naturally occurring sugar, alcohol called sorbitol. While small amounts are generally harmless, frequent consumption, especially in older adults, can interfere with the absorption of key minerals like calcium and iron. These minerals are not just important for bone health. They are essential for muscle function, oxygen delivery, and overall strength. Over time, low calcium and iron levels can lead to symptoms like fatigue, reduced muscle endurance, and even subtle signs of muscle wasting. You might feel a heaviness in your legs, tire more easily when walking, or take longer to recover after light activity, and never suspect that your favourite fruit might be playing a role. Compounding the issue is a common dietary pairing, cherries and milk. Many older adults enjoy this combination, perhaps as a dessert or snack, but this can backfire. The sorbitol in cherries, when combined with dairy, can slow digestion and trigger mild intestinal inflammation, especially in aging digestive systems that are already more sensitive, bloating discomfort, or a general feeling of sluggishness. After this combination may not just be indigestion, it could be a signal that your gut lining is under stress, which can further impair nutrient absorption. Then there's the sugar content. Black cherries, a common favourite, contain nearly 17 grams of sugar per 100 grams, about the same as a serving of light soda. That's a lot, especially for older adults who are trying to manage inflammation, blood sugar levels, or insulin resistance. Sugar, particularly when consumed without balancing fibre or protein, can feed low-grade inflammation throughout the body. And for muscles trying to repair and rebuild, a constant process in aging bodies. Inflammation is the enemy. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology Medical Sciences highlights how chronic inflammation is directly linked to sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. What you eat truly shapes how well your body holds up over time. Fortunately, There are smarter choices that still satisfy a craving for something sweet and flavorful. Blackberries or underripe blueberries provide a more stable option. They're lower in sugar, gentler on the digestive system, and packed with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that help muscles recover and reduce inflammation. These fruits don't just taste good, they actively support the body's ability to stay strong and mobile. In a world where food habits are formed over decades, it's easy to overlook the impact of something as seemingly harmless as cherries. But with just a little awareness, you can swap them out for alternatives that nourish without compromise and protect the strength that keeps you independent. 7 mangoes, the tropical sugar bomb. Most people are surprised to learn this, but mangoes, those golden, juicy symbols of tropical health, actually have a higher glycemic index than white bread. With a GI ranging between 60 and 70, mangoes can spike your blood sugar faster than many processed carbohydrates. For older adults, this isn't just a number. It has real effects on energy muscles and how stable you feel throughout the day. That beautiful mango you added to your lunch, it might be the reason you're suddenly feeling wiped out by mid-afternoon. When you eat high GI foods like mangoes, your body releases a surge of insulin to deal with the rapid influx of sugar. At first, you may feel energized, even uplifted, but that energy doesn't last. The drop afterward can be steep and sudden, often leaving you feeling drained, shaky, or even lightheaded. And for seniors whose insulin response is often slower or less efficient, that blood sugar roller coaster can be even more extreme. One of the most common and overlooked symptoms is muscle fatigue, the sense that your legs have suddenly lost their power or your arms feel heavier than usual even after light activity. Take Bill, a 76-year-old retired teacher who loved mangoes and often enjoyed them the traditional way, sliced over sticky rice topped with a drizzle of condensed milk. It was a treat he grew up with and still craved. But as he got older, he began noticing that these indulgent snacks left him unusually tired and even unsteady when walking. At first, he blamed the heat or poor sleep, but when he adjusted his diet, trading the mango and milk combo for a plum and a handful of almonds, he was surprised by how much steadier and more energized he felt throughout the afternoon. It's not just the fruit itself, it's how we pair it. Mangoes, combined with sticky rice and sweetened condensed milk, create a triple threat of sugar, starch, and fat that can overwhelm the body's ability to regulate energy. The result is a crash that doesn't just leave you tired, it can increase your risk of falls or subtle muscle loss over time. Fortunately, there are better ways to enjoy fruit without sacrificing flavor. American plums and yellow peaches are excellent alternatives. They're still sweet and satisfying, but contain significantly less sugar and more soluble fiber, which helps slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar. These fruits support energy without the crash, making them safer and more sustainable choices for seniors who want to stay active and independent. So next time you're reaching for a mango, ask yourself, how does my body feel afterward? Have you ever noticed a dip in energy after eating sweet tropical fruits? Your story might resonate more than you think. 8. Dried fruits. When healthy snacks become muscle killers, dried fruits are often seen as the perfect snack. Small, convenient, and packed with nutrients. For many older adults, they feel like a smart alternative to candy or chips, and it's common to hear people say they eat them to help with digestion. But behind their wholesome image lies a surprising danger, especially for aging muscles and joints. What most people don't realize is that dried fruits can do more harm than good when eaten regularly, and the reasons are more serious than just sugar. When fruit is dried, it loses water. And that loss isn't just about texture. Hydration plays a critical role in muscle health. Without enough water, muscles become more prone to cramping, stiffness, and weakness. For seniors, who are already more susceptible to dehydration due to natural age-related changes, dried fruit can quietly worsen that issue. Eating something that's sweet but moisture depleted can actually draw fluids out of your system, compounding the risk of muscle cramps and even impairing the ability to recover from simple movements like walking or getting out of a chair. But the sugar is what really tips the scale. Dried fruits contain 4 to 6 times more sugar than their fresh versions. Just 30 grams of raisins, about a small handful, can equal the sugar content of 4 teaspoons. That sugar is highly concentrated, absorbed quickly, and lacks the natural fiber and water that would normally slow its impact. This creates sudden spikes in blood sugar, followed by quick drops, which often leave people feeling tired, irritable, or light-headed sensations. Many seniors chalk up to just aging. Over time, this pattern contributes to low-grade inflammation and insulin resistance, both of which are closely linked to muscle deterioration and fatigue. There's another issue that often gets overlooked. Uric acid buildup. Dried fruits, especially when eaten in excess, can increase uric acid levels in the blood. This buildup contributes to inflammation in the soft tissues, including tendons, joints, and muscle fascia, and can aggravate conditions like gout or trigger unexplained muscle soreness. People who eat dried fruit daily, thinking it helps their digestion, may actually be feeding the very inflammation that makes them feel more sluggish and stiff. For those who still crave a soft, sweet, digestible snack, there are gentler alternatives that nourish without draining strength. Steamed pears or baked apples, for example, are warm, hydrating, and easy on the gut. They offer fiber, natural sweetness, and moisture, all of which support digestion without robbing the body of fluid or spiking blood sugar. These options feel comforting and are far more compatible with the needs of an aging body. Sometimes foods that once served us well, earlier in life become less helpful as our bodies change. Dried fruit may seem harmless, even healthy, but for older adults aiming to stay strong and energized, it's worth reconsidering what truly supports your body and what quietly holds it back. Getting older is something none of us can stop, but losing strength every day, that is something we can fight. The fruits we choose may seem small, but over time they can shape how steady our legs feel, how easily we move, and how long we stay independent. This isn't about giving up everything you love. It's about knowing better and choosing smarter. Today, take a moment. Look at your daily fruit habits. Rewrite that list. Which one will you swap out first? Maybe it's the dried raisins you snack on without thinking, or the banana you eat every morning unaware it might be overloading your system. Start with just one change, because even one smart swap like trading watermelon for cucumber or cherries for blackberries could help protect your legs, your balance, and your confidence. So here's a question for you. Which of these fruits do you eat most often? Drop the number in the comments. Let's see how many of us have been in the same boat. And if this video helped you see things in a new light, hit that like button, subscribe so you never miss another tip to stay strong, steady, and in control of your life. We're in this together.